Hi guys, this is my second video for the day. The first video I did in reference to the plane crash that they had and a little bit of my thoughts about DEI. But the main video that I really wanted to do is this video that I'm about to do. But out of respect, I just wanted to pay homage to the people who lost their lives, their family and friends. My heart goes out to those people. It's not ever easy when you lose a loved one. I know it's inevitable that we all have to lose people along the way, and people will lose us as well. So it's something that we need to come to terms with, but we will never, because losing a loved one, it always hurts. I can see this going into two videos, but let me start with the video that I wanted to do from the beginning of today. But like I said, I wanted to do that video first. So story time. How I, Nicola Harris, Nee Thompson, who came to this country from Guyana, South America, in 2015, May of 2015. How I was part of organized crime and I had no clue. How I was a part of an organized crime and I had no clue. Now you would ask me, organized crime? Did the people who brought you here part of that theory? I'm going to answer that question a little later down. Now, I came to this country here through my ex-in-laws. At that time, I was married. And those are the persons who sponsor my then family, of course, me, my ex-husband, and children here. However, prior to that, I did came to the United States in 2012, 13, and I had a 10-year visa. So I came to this country before my ex-husband, before my kids, but then came back in 2015 as a permanent resident. Give you all that in a nutshell, because for those who don't know, I am facing an abuse story from a group of people. And this is where it all unfolds. And this is story time. How I was placed in an organized, or was the target of an organized crime and had no idea. Dear CIA, FBI, judicial bodies, Congress, government offices, communities, ex-friends, ex-partners, listen up. You were hoodwinked by one main source or a few main sources, hoodwinked of who I am. And that was done very strategically, intentionally, purposefully, because I was an easy target. I was vulnerable, and I had no idea how treacherous, dangerous the system could be. Now, upon speaking with a few people, they would say, Nicola, but you're not the first person who these things happen to. And I said, yes, I do understand. Many people came to this country and lost houses, cars, home. People steal their money. So it's a trend. It's a trend that these people do this kind of thing. Is it right? Is it wrong? It is very, very, very wrong. 1 minute. Okay, so let's continue. So the talk is that drop it. I agree. It needs to be dropped. And I have dropped it. But for some reason or the other, these perpetrators, abusers, scammers, who knows the system very well and who have people in pockets in different government offices, judicial bodies, in the precincts, they have these people that trickle down somewhere that they can use, pay a bribe to get you trapped or get you caught up. For me, like I said, who came to this country in 2015, had no idea that my ID card, my social security, even my passport and birth certificate could be my dooms. Could be my doom. What can they do with my ID card? They can actually use this and pretend to be me. Not only create crimes, but get certain things off of who I am. Loans, homes, travels, insurance policies, all of that stuff they can do. Social security, the same thing. Passport, the same thing. Your birth certificate is very important. Now, that is something that we will have a little update on because I've just applied for my birth certificate. It will take a couple of weeks to get here, but I'm waiting patiently. But Congress, I came to this country as a permanent resident, so that means I did not come illegally. I came with a then family who sponsored me at that time. Now, did I know this type of family was that way? No, I did not. However, upon years prior, myself and the family were not meshing. We were not on good terms. So coming up here, I did say to a friend of mine before I get here, I said, listen, when I come up to the United States, if it doesn't work out, I'm going to leave. And that's what I did. It didn't, and I definitely left. But upon leaving, what they did, they tried to sacrifice me. And they told the world or all the people, the system, and they were good because they would have been here 25 years before I got here. So they know the system, they know people, they know how to hit me, they know what would corner me, they know what would block me, they know what would bring me down. They knew it because I was vulnerable to the system. To the inspectors, the people who hacks my phone, look at my email and my messages, and I know some people are in there, they're looking for whatever. They build a tall facade, a huge lie. Why they do that? Because they had to basically divert you guys from the main focus of why they need to look at me 24 hours a day. They need to know what I'm doing. So what they did, they create a scenario of, she's too spiritual, she prays a lot, we gotta watch her, she could be this, she could be that. None of that. None of it is correctly. The only thing I probably do a little too loudly is that I pray loudly. I would profess and pray to God and Holy Spirit, and I would pray. I would use my voice because I do believe using your voice and speaking loudly a little bit gets you a little connected. So that's what I basically do a lot. But along the way, I find myself with a group of scammers, full-fledged scammers. Yes, CIA, federal offices, yes, totally. But because I was fresh meat, new to the system, I was the meal ticket. I was the milk and cow, all of that. When it comes to finances, people getting homes, people getting loans, insurance policy. Not to say, and this is what I don't have on-hand information, but trust me when I said I'm going to solve my own case, I'm going to solve it, because every day I share information, I hope that it gets into the hand of one good person. One good person. That's all I'm looking for. Not many. It could get into 1,000, but one good person with integrity will actually look at my case and say, let me investigate what this woman is saying. Now, don't take away from these people thinking or these people presenting a death certificate. Because one time somebody said to me, somebody said you were, and then they stopped. You had passed? Was it that's what they were saying? Oh, it was so good to see you, Nicola. But you could see that person didn't want to divulge more. But that was somebody from my hometown. So what it says to me, it had to do with the people who brought me here were strategically blocking my path. Among others, Let's talk about it more in part 2.